Hey folks, how are you doing? It's Alex here. Welcome back to Alflex. So today we are going to look deep into the issue of responsibility, the masculine responsibility, simply because I feel like a lot of people have failed in this. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and I was asking her, "What's your dream like? What do you think that will work for you? What do you want with your family, or something like that?" She was explaining to me how beautiful the family she wants. Me too. I have that freaking dream of having a beautiful family. And also, I asked her as well, do you believe that a lot of people have achieved it or haven't yet achieved? Simply because if you look very keenly, a lot of people dream of having that perfect family. That is what it is. We all admire that. We all admire to be happy with our kids, our wives, and all these kind of things. But at the end of the day, with me looking introspectively, I saw that a lot of people haven't yet achieved that, and they are not going to achieve that soon. Why? Simply because they abandoned their responsibility. Because if you have a dream, that means you have a responsibility to take care of. With great power comes great responsibility, and that is what it is. That is how powerful your dream is. Your dream is powerful enough to ensure that you will take your responsibility to achieve it. And if you're not in a position of doing that, then at the end of the day, you won't get it. That is just 100% sure. It's amazing how people go through life. They're just amazed. I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. But at the end of the day, they won't get it in their lifetime. Why? Simply because they abandoned their rules, they abandoned their responsibility and standards and settled for something less. Maybe they tried, let's say maybe they tried, but they tried 20 times, they tried 50, and they gave up, simply because they were frustrated at the end of the day. They didn't get what they wanted. But you have to understand, if you have to get something that is valuable, it's hard to get. You have to try like 1,000 times. You have to try like 5,000 times, big dog. That is what it means uh, to be persistent. The ability that you have to take punches, because life will surely punch you in the face. It will punch you in the face as a man. And it's up to you to understand, I'm a man enough to step the fuck up and do what I'm supposed to do and build that dream that I'm supposed to build, because that is what that really matters in the end of the day. That beautiful dream that you had in the first place, that is what that is making you a human being. Every other thing else is just programming, every other thing else is brainwashing. Every TikTok shit that you're watching, it's just distracting you from that person you want to be. And that is how brutally honest you have to be with yourself, simply because you know very well the path that you are walking, it won't lead you where you want. Unless you don't know your dream very well. But as a matter of fact, if you go out there and see someone living your dream life, you admire that. Why? Simply because you want it for yourself. You know, that's basic logic. You want it for yourself. And that is why you have to be in a position of understanding the actions that you are doing are building up karma. They are building up karma. If you're building, you're doing actions that will lead you to what you wanted to be in the first place. That builds a positive karma, which will ensure that you get what you want. But if you're not working towards, you're not conscious congruent, and you're not working towards what you want in the first place, it is building negative karma, which will lead you to the opposite life that you want. That is your nightmare life, Victor. That is what it is. It will just narrow down to brutal honesty with yourself and just understanding that I'm a man, I'm not a child, I'm not meant to be happy every freaking time, you know. Because happiness is what is winning you actually. Happiness is what is winning a lot of men. The chase for happiness or something like that. Weekends, my weekend will be good because I will be having my buddies to drink with. I don't know, I gabbled on this kind of shit. I'll have some women somewhere. But that instant happiness, instant gratification, that is what is destroying you. And it will destroy you. It will pile up karma, and you won't be able to pay that karma in the next 70 years. There's nothing bad like piling up karma in your 20s, simply because in your 20s is when you should be growing, is when you should be putting in the work towards achieving who you wanted to be in the first place. And if you are spending that time not directly or actively going for what you wanted, destroying yourself, building up negative karma, at the end of the day, you won't be in a position of achieving whatever you want. Rest assured of that, because as time goes by, it is becoming harder and harder for an average man to be rich. That is just 100% sure. Look at the inflation. For instance, a BMW right now, a BMW X6 is being sold at 18.98 million, somewhere there. That means in the next 30 to 50 years, that thing will be sold at 40 million or something. Why? Simply because the money is inflating, it's becoming valueless. That means the money that you think that you need to be financially free, it's getting even much more harder to get. You get me? You have to understand. Be perspicacious enough to understand how things are going. Be vigilant enough to look into yourself introspectively and just understand your neural pathways, the paths that your mind is trying to force you to, the fun, the happiness or something like that bullshit. And then try to hypnotize them, build them, like bend the reality towards the man you want to be in the first place. Because at the end of the day, if you won't force yourself to do what you're supposed to do, you won't be in a position of getting what you are supposed to get. We have dreams, and I understand that very 100%, man. A lot of people everybody have dreams, but only a few of them gets it. Why? Because they went for it. They never abandoned their responsibility. They woke up every freaking day and decided, I'm gonna be the best Victor. I'm gonna be the freaking best. Whatever it freaking takes. You have to understand, if you have a dream or an ambition, you have to turn it to goals. You have to turn it to goals simply because by turning it to goals, it has deadlines. And those deadlines will be in a position of pushing you. And if you are crazy enough, you're hungry enough to get what you want in the first place, then you will get it. Then you will get it definitely. Because you sat down with yourself and decided to do what you're supposed to do. The mistake with a lot of people is that they want something, but they don't want it at the expense of their comfort. You know. Yes, I want to be rich, I want to be rich. But I won't sell my TV. You see? That's a mistake. That TV will fuck your future up, man. That phone, that TikTok, that Apple that you have on your phone that is just destroying your focus every now and then. That thing will fuck you up. And it's up to you to understand. If I don't sit down every freaking day and analyze myself, analyze my mistakes, analyze everything that I'm doing wrong, then at the end of the day, I'm going to lose the game. That is just 100% sure. Rest assured of that. Rest assured of that. Simply because that is how life works, man. That is the universal rule of how things work. The rule of causality, the rule of cause and effect. If I do this, I'll get this. If I smoke weed, then I will have cancer in the end of the day. If I start saving money or building some portfolio, some investment portfolio, and if I do it very well, then at the end of the day, I will end up to amass financial success. That is the rule of causality, bro. If I work hard enough, and I mean enough, then at the end of the day, I will get what I want. That is what that matters. People do something, they start doing something, maybe building that dream that they want. They work, they work, they work. Then at the end of the day, if it gets hard, they're like, God damn, man, this shit is crazy. I'm not gonna do this. You see? They end up throwing it away or giving up on it, going back to TikTok and doing some bullshit. That is what that is destroying them. And if you're listening to Alflex Fit, you shouldn't be one of those guys who are being destroyed by their actions. You should be a person who is driven to do something. You should be a person who is driven to get yourself out of the hole that you dug yourself into. You have to be that courageous enough to face yourself, simply because I came to realize that the biggest mistake that young men are doing is not having courage in themselves, not having courage to take the first steps, you know, not having courage to get out of their comfort zones, not having the courage to say no to their buddies who want to just enjoy every now and then, to women. Like, bruv, that essence of masculinity is what that is lacking. And that is what is destroying every now and then. It's destroying men crazily. I walk on the streets and see men who are, first of all, skinny, secondary smoking weed, dirty, god damn, man, awkward shoes and something, bruv. I'm like, god damn, you didn't want this, bruv. You didn't want this in the first place, did you? Did you want to wake up someday and find yourself this way? No. But why are you here? You know, why the fuck are you here, man? Simply because you have done your duties and responsibilities. That is what it is. But these people are not honest enough to be in a position of being like, God damn, I lost here, man. I lost the game here. How can I get myself back on track? And that is why I'm telling you, at Alflex Fit, you have to understand, you have to be courageous enough. Be courageous enough to face yourself off and just understand all your weaknesses brutally. Look into them and just be in a position of understanding. This is where I'm fucking myself up. And I'm gonna do this and this and this and this to solve it. Because if you don't, year after year will go. I mean, look at this year, 2024. It just came and just passed like that. What have you done? You see? What have you done towards that dream that you wanted in the first place? That's why I'm telling you, this is what that matters. Because years will go, time will always be moving. But if you're not moving, that means you are regressing. 100%. That is just 100% big dog. The same thing with those young men that I told you on the streets. These people, they came to realize that they are in that situation of smoking weed, being dirty, clothing weirdly, having some freaking weird shoes or something like that. Their hairs are like, god damn, man. They didn't want to be there, but they were not actively on a daily basis, introspectively looking deep into what they are doing and then shifting it or correcting it where it was necessary. That means they were not progressing, and it also means they were definitely regressing. That is what it is. That is just what it is, big dog. You have to understand. As a man, you have to sit down with everything, with every aspect of your life, and look into it and just understand this and this and this is what I should be doing to achieve what I want. This and this and this is what I should avoid doing to achieve what I want. This and this and this and this is the nightmare life that I don't want to have. This and this and this is the dream life that I want to achieve. And this is the roadmap. And I'm gonna follow this every freaking day without fail, big dog, without freaking fail until I die. That is now purpose, man. That is so freaking powerful. That is purpose, big dog. And that is just what that matters. That is what that matters in the end of the day. Young men, you have to understand, no one is coming to give you a dream. Nobody. There's no one out here on earth or some freaking relative or something. They'll come and tell you, oh, bruv, this is what you wanted to do. I'll give you for free. Nothing like that. It will never happen. It's all up to you to understand. This is what I want, and I'm gonna chase it. Regardless of what, I don't freaking care, and I'm gonna get what I want. That is what it is. You just have to be that nigga who says, I want this, and I want this alone. And I want it simply because I'm going for it. Whatever it takes. As long as they are not immoral, you are a man, big dog. You are a moral man, a man who is led by virtues, you know, more so virtues that lead you, not leading others, but leading yourself is one of the most important things that you can ever do as a man. Because you cannot lead others, you cannot lead your children, you cannot lead your wife if you are not able to lead yourself as a man. That's why a lot of families are falling apart. That is why a lot of dads are abandoning their families like freaking weirdos. What the fuck? That is why men are failing like that. Simply because they are not in a position of sitting the fuck down and analyzing what they wanted in the first place. They're not being in a position of leading themselves to do their responsibility diligently with sheer indefatigability to achieve what they wanted in the first place. They are freaking weirdos. You have to understand, as a man, it is your role, it is your responsibility to achieve whatever is possible here on earth for your people, for the people who are looking up on you, for the people on the streets who are suffering, for the people who are going through hard times. You are the one to go out there, build that freaking dream that you wanted, and save these people. Because when you fail, you're not only failing yourself, you're not only failing God, you're not only failing your family, you're also failing other people out there. You have to chase your dream like you are chasing it for other people, not for you. It's not for you. And that is why the Bible said in the first place, the greatest throw is love. And you cannot love a person when you don't love yourself first. And loving yourself is being tough on yourself to be in a position of doing what you're supposed to do in the first place, not destroying yourself. Because people think that love and happiness is like smoking weed and all this shit. Okay, drinking booze like freaking weirdos and all this bullshit. They think that is fun, but at the end of the day, they are destroying themselves like freaking weirdos. Doesn't make any sense, does it? Doesn't. And that is why most men are failing, because they are chasing that instant happiness. They're going to women. They are waiting for the nightclub and all this bullshit. They are spending a lot of money on fun and all this fucking crazy shit, you know. And that doesn't make any sense. That is freaking hedonistic shit. It won't add any essence in your life. It won't. It won't add any essence in your life. That is why most men are regressing. That is why most men are abandoning their families. That is why most men are abandoning their wives. That is why most men are not achieving what they wanted in the first place. The purpose. The purpose. It's not about those freaking Audis that you normally post out there. It's not about, I don't know, BMWs and beautiful mansions. It's not about that. That is material shit, big dog. What I'm talking about is what you feel from within, like the purpose that God gave to you as a man to come here on earth to do. He didn't call you to just drive Rambos and all this shit. He didn't just call you to have a lot of women on your side and all this shit. He called you for something much more greater than that. And that is what that really matters in the first place. People, you have to understand, you have to get to the top. Whatever it freaking takes. Be the best version of yourselves. Stop negotiating with your freaking self. Face yourself hard enough to be in a position of getting what you want. Because if you want, at the end of the day, no one will give it to you. Be the best, folks. I'm really grateful for having shot this podcast simply because I believe you have gotten some value from it. And if you have, consider subscribing. See you at the top. Adios.